Hey guys, what's going on? You're watching the Bitter Jury.
I'm so excited for this. It seems like it's been a long time since we became six. I'm ready for some new house guests. I'm ready to get into this. It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. So you are here with Kelly.
And I'm Jacob.
Hey, I'm Kelly. Also,
we have two Kellys now, guys. It's really cool.
Two Kellys. It's Kelly in stereo.
Yeah.
And who's this other person?
I am the guy on the couch. I just decided to throw myself in.
Yeah, you might recognize Shaun from
I'm perspective on,
Oh, this isn't good. That's okay.
Oh.
It's Shaun. That's Shaun.
Yeah, that's Shaun.
Yeah. He's guested a couple times.
Yeah. So yeah, we have not one, not two, not three, but four people on for today's podcast. I'm really excited about that. And we have a brand new cast to talk about. So let's just jump right into it. Before we sort of go one by one, what do you guys think of just in general, like the mix of house guests we have this go around? Anything that jumps out to you about the cast as a whole right off the bat?
I am pretty excited overall. I think there's really only one person or two or three people that I'm not super pumped about.
Okay.
But and then there's also like a couple, like I genuinely, like, I don't like them. Yeah. There's a couple people where I'm like, it's okay. But then for the majority, I really like what they said. I like what they bring to the table. I'm afraid though, because I was really pumped about last season, and we all know that was a dumpster fire. So
I like that season. Okay.
I thought it was fine. I really liked BB19, but I'm definitely I'm aware that I'm in the minority here, but it's
totally love in every season, right? But
yeah, I mean, I loved Paul. Kelly hated Paul, and so this is how that goes.
Yeah, Kelly and I watch almost every episode in the same room, and the Paul split was palpable.
Oh really?
Paul
it was so strong.
I have another Paul fan on the podcast.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Right to the very end when he got so cocky that he wanted to insist he was a good guy when he could have,
right.
the evil dick card and gone the manipulative route. But he had to try and retain his positive image at the end, and it cost him. But I was with him all the way.
Absolutely, he deserved to win that game. Rest in peace, Paul. I hope to never see you again.
He's not dead.
Never get to play Big Brother again.
I know.
I hope I never see you play Big Brother again. But
y'all, I don't know if you noticed this, but on like the website before it showed up with the cast, it was showing like you could go back and watch previous episodes, and it was showing the most current season, which is BB18.
Oh.
So that was CBS's way of throwing a little bit of shade to BB19, as well as the pretty anti-Paul cast that we have this year. Like, you can tell.
Yeah, how many times did we hear jury management mentioned today?
and I think that's really, really fucked up, actually. I think like you have to whether or not you like a house guest, you have to admit that they were an integral part of 2 seasons. And I feel like Paul just gets the shaft when it comes to, because he was a mean guy, and he owned that 100%.
Okay,
outside of the house.
Here's where I disagree. Like season 18, it's like I'm totally definitely pro Paul. Like he got screwed over. But when you go into a second season without watching your previous season to show what mistakes you made, it's kind of your own fault. You know what? Okay,
we agree on that.
I'm getting off on a tangent. We're supposed to be here talking about the cast.
Okay.
This isn't about Paul.
It should be though. No, it's
that's it, dude. If that's the theme of this season, good job, Paul.
Okay,
I think the new cast kind of hits a lot of the usual marks. They got their archetypes. You got your stereotypical old guy who's pretty close to Kevin, I think, from last season. You got your crazy 20-somethings. There aren't as many middle grounders. Usually you get a few people in their 30s. I think we have just a couple of people that are married, with more singles than usual this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna be seeing a very high rate of showmances this season, which I'm not super pumped about, but we'll see if it actually happens.
I'm rooting for our first gay showmance this year.
Yes, yes.
Who would it be between?
I told you who it would be between. It would be between I can't remember his name, but Winston and what's his name?
Oh, JC.
JC.
Yeah, JC.
Not everybody declared their sexuality, but I think we heard at least a couple of them say that they're.
Right.
I remember one female and one male who both said that they were homosexual. So
yeah,
unfortunately, those are not compatible.
I guess.
Right.
If anything, Winston, I think, is curious.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Man.
All right,
Okay,
so let's jump into this cast.
Who do we have? We have probably the most boring character ever.
Faisal. He called himself Facey, I think.
Yeah, right? Something like that. And oh my God, so I remember when I was writing my notes, I only had like 3 things about him because of how bored I was. I hope you guys don't mind that I switched it over to apparently not my face.
That's totally fine.
But yeah, I was not a fan of him. He just seemed like he was really boring and there wasn't too much about him. I don't know. Do you guys want to add anything?
I mean, I think that he definitely gave me some vibes very similar to my initial thoughts of Hamza from BB Can 6. I was just wondering what's this guy gonna do? I don't know where to put him. I think he'll be somebody who we kind of get to know on night 1, which is why I'm kind of glad we're not doing the draft based off of first impressions. I feel like he's gonna pull a Hamza where we thought Hamza was gonna be this boring sort of character, but he turned out to be the biggest personality in BB Can 6. So I'm glad we get a chance to take a second look before we draft.
I think I'm ranking him most likely to lose his crap and go off on somebody. I think he's a hothead. He's one of those calm like a bomb guys who doesn't know how to take a joke, and he's going to be a little sensitive, and then he'll be all up in your face. Yeah,
do you think he's one of those guys that goes out to prove his masculinity? That kind of guy.
Yeah, he really feels like he's got something to prove. I mean, what was the line? My favorite quote is that he was talking about himself, and he goes, I mean, obviously, I played college football.
Oh my God, yes.
Obvious. I mean, that's not you said, but.
And I love how Ross was just like, "Yeah, that's not obvious. I don't know you." So.
He kind of reminds me of Devin from 16.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe the only difference is that to me, he seems like he has more of a calm demeanor to him, like he's trying to be calm. Ooh, and then Mark, right? Is he the teddy bear?
Mark from BB19?
Yeah, he's like.
Oh yeah.
They had a baby together. This is what it would be.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. That's the feel I get from this kid.
Yeah, except he probably doesn't have a daughter, which Devin did. So there's that.
We don't know though. We don't. We just know that he played college football, Kelly. That's all we need to know. Obviously.
Oh man. Anything else that we want to say about him?
I think we can be done with him for now.
He's got Jersey Shore hair. It's like Pauly D. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on. So we have Bailey.
Okay.
Who has never met a woman or never met a man in her entire life other than her boyfriends. Right. And oh man, this girl, she's gonna be a hot mess.
Her favorite contestant's Donnie though. How can you not like her now?
I can like her, but still point out the fact that she says the very stereotypical catty girl thing. I think one of the things that she said was the fact that guys have this way to be able to get over things.
Yeah, and I don't have it.
So that tells me, 1, that she's using the stereotypes of guys versus girls, and 2, that means that she falls under that girl category of like how girls play dirty and they're very catty. So she's like, I'm excited to see her on the feeds. I don't want to see her go very far just because I'm not into that. I don't know. Like, I'm very torn about her, but I'm not excited about her.
Okay.
Gameplay wise.
So,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, just really quick, she kind of reminds me of Dominique Cooper from 19.
Oh.
She's got that, like, really firecracker. But then I think when she gets in there, she's gonna kind of like transform into Omarosa. So I'm really trying to stretch it here for her. But I will say that she's kind of boring to me. But like I spelled her name right. I said Bay and Leaf. Bayleaf.
There you go.
So
there you go.
I was the closest. I don't know. That's my perspective on her.
Yeah, I think like on the low end like of expectations for her, I feel like she is trying to be, or she reminds me of somebody who's trying to be Aika. And I don't think that she's going to succeed in that because she doesn't seem to have very much a lot of experience with human interaction outside of her own family and boyfriends. So it'll be very entertaining to watch. But yeah, I don't think that you can pull off those.
I don't think that Kelly's very familiar with Aika. Can you describe everything that is Aika from BB Can?
Okay, so Aika is a legend of BB Can in that she is the most like the universe revolves around Aika.
Oh, great.
And everything that is fabulous in the universe is brought about by Aika, and she's famous for like ripping apart letters from loved ones, like
oh man,
to make like $5,000 or something.
Yes, it was amazing. And not just the choice that she did, but like the manner that she went into it. Like at first, like she was being like, I don't want you to get a letter, so I'm totally fine with like having this letter destroyed. And then like as the time went on, like she'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry that I have to do this. But just, oh man, she was so awesome. It's one of the scenes that I show people to get them into Big Brother.
She is like known as the queen of BB Can, and I think she's one of the most iconic females to ever play Big Brother, no matter what the
iconic.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I believe that too, because you know when you think about Big Brother Canada, most of those people like they're not, you know, mean, but she's
she's vindictive.
She's vindictive. Thank you. Yeah, I was trying to find the word, but
so
yeah,
basically we're doing Bailey some favors comparing her.
No. I think she's gonna try.
Yeah, but what we're saying is that she's not gonna be like
try.
She's trying to go that way, but she's not going to.
The two things that stuck out to me about Bailey, one is that I started counting the number of times she did her hair flip.
Oh my god,
hair flip thing, and I lost track because it was so many. But then she also tried to kind of articulate a strategy. And I think, Kelly, you and I were talking about this. She said she wants to lay low for the first few weeks and let people kind of outplay themselves and put targets on their back. And we were talking about the difference between a floater and a coaster, like someone who's doing it strategically versus someone who's just floating through. And she strikes me as more of a potential floater than anything.
For sure, and I think that's a legitimate strategy. Paris' win in BB Can 6 shows us that we can definitely count on that to be a good strategy. But
and for BB15.
Yeah, and but I don't think she's going to be capable of it. I feel like she's going to get herself in trouble by being sort of catty, and the way that she even interacted with Ross, who is like just this. Now an icon of Big Brother, like she was like, no, this interview's about me, like, and like didn't give him his space to ask questions. Did you guys notice that, or is that just me?
No, totally.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have high hopes for her. I mean, I want her to be iconic, but I don't. I wouldn't count on it.
She could easily be someone that like you're 5 weeks in and then suddenly she gets 10 seconds of screen time and you're like, oh yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Exactly.
So are we done? Shaun, did you have anything that you wanted to add with her?
No, I feel like Bayleaf is right now. I'm never gonna call her by the right name, but just
Bayleaf, I like it. Yeah.
Right now, that's as iconic as she has gotten is her name. So
Yeah.
that's all I got.
Okay, let's go on to the next person then. So next on our list is Tyler, who is literally the stereotype of a surfer dude, and is giving me strong Hayden vibes from BB12, who was the winner. Because like he seems a little more self-aware than
I forgot that Hayden won. Wait.
Yeah, that was my first season. That's why like I distinctly remember Hayden
won that season?
Yes, he won. He killed it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh my god.
Right.
So, it's such a weird season.
Get that.
I'm getting a little more Hayden vibes from him because he seems than the other stereotypical surfer dudes that show up who go out on the first week, because he recognizes what he's up against. He's like, hey, I know that surfers go out the first week, so I need to go against that. And he seems more self-aware than like Hayden from BB16 or Jace from BB17. Even though Jace wasn't necessarily like a surfer, but he still, for me, fit in that category. So yeah.
Right. What
do you guys think of it?
Yeah, go ahead, guys.
I mean, I think Hayden had this kind of laid-back vibe. He kind of coasted on his visual look, but he ended up being pretty like intense, especially when he came back and was kind of abusive even.
Hayden didn't come back. That was Frank.
Oh, I'm thinking of Frank. You're right.
Yeah.
I totally got it mixed up.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Hayden did go on Survivor.
No, okay, now I remember Hayden. Yeah. Hayden was cool. Yeah,
he was like really cool. He was with Kristen, where we had the classic sign or the classic saying of "Floaters grab a life vest." Kristen.
That's right.
Right.
Like that's the season with Hayden.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm getting like Hayden vibes from him.
Yeah. He seemed to be really aware of the character he was playing, like really kind of coming in like, I'm gonna play this out. He had like the crazy eyes going. He kept like widening his eyes at the camera. Like he wants to kind of make people underestimate him a little bit.
Yeah, I thought he came in really smart. He's like you said, he's very, very much aware of like why he was cast and the sort of archetype that he's filling. But I really have high hopes that he's going to really overcome that. He seems to have a lot going on the inside. He seems to be more analytical than you would think, just based off of what he looks like. And I really hope that he follows through with that, and we see some really good gameplay from him.
Yeah, I think you guys nailed it with most of the characteristics on him. I honestly think that if he is able to survive, week 4 or 5, he done good, because he's playing a major stereotype, and it puts a huge target on your back when it's so noticeable who you're playing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like he's going to try to play dumb, but I wonder if people are going to react to that and notice that right away that he's playing dumb and target him for not being genuine.
I feel like he ends up that archetype ends up going far a lot of the time though, because he's non-threatening. He's not an alpha. He's not one of the jocks so much, and any skill he has is he's able to kind of hide behind the friendly stoner vibe. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, I feel like he's the guy that's gonna eat like cereal and smoke a bowl and
Totally.
Oh man, I'm getting flashbacks from BP19 with eating cereal.
Yeah,
I really don't. As long as we don't have that happen, I'm okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Matt. Oh Matt. Yes. Anyway,
I had such high hopes for Matt too, and
everyone did, and I'm actually gonna bring him up like in a little bit with one of the house guests that we're getting this season.
Oh, good.
So yeah.
Okay.
Do we have anything else you want to say about Tyler, aka Hayden, aka Frank?
Yeah, he really does look like Frank. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go on to our next person, which
Can we
is
not?
Angie.
Can we just not?
Oh,
No, let's do it.
So,
She's
Kelly.
the worst.
Okay, let's think about it this way.
I'm
Angie
about to
will
come in
have
with a hot take.
succeeded if she makes it past the first night eviction. I think Angie can be proud of herself, like just from that alone, because of how terrible she is to be. I mean, like, I'm sure she's wonderful as a person, but like
I
as
don't
a
know about
house
that, but-
guest, like she seems absolutely like. Why did you choose her? Like,
So because I know you guys are gonna bag on this interview, and for understandable reasons. But here's the thing: she is so freaking weird
Yeah.
that, like, why not keep her around?
you know who else was weird? Joey from BB16.
She gives me a Lydia vibe. She's weird, but she's gonna go crazy in the house. She's gonna be watching people sleep. I guarantee it.
Man.
But okay, the thing with Joey is that she tried to form this huge freaking girls thing, and I don't think that Angie Rockstar, I'm sorry, has the capacity to try to make the girls thing happen, and I feel like she could probably fit more of a Gen City thing. I feel like she's just sort of outlandish enough to where people are just gonna, like, we can always get her next week, sort of thing.
If she's outlandish enough, like, why didn't she I don't know, like, based off of first impressions alone,
She's
I'm very
crazy.
confused why she has Rockstar as her nickname other than visually looking at her. Because personality-wise, she seems very, very, like, chill and very boring. Which, it's totally fine to be that way, but if you're going to go on Big Brother, like, you need to have at least something going on. And that's not what I'm getting from her.
Personality, she has big glasses.
She was,
Maybe she's trying to magnify her personality.
Here's what it's going to be, though, is that she's going to be someone who there'll be somebody with a big target on their back who gets saved because she has a meltdown and the house has to go on red alert and get her out. It's happened like once at least the last few seasons where everybody has to stop what they're doing and get the crazy person out. That's her.
Yeah, but you think that'll take a few weeks, right?
Yeah. She'll make it maybe almost a jury.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh God.
You guys are giving her so much credit.
I'm not. They are.
She'll be like a hand grenade with the pin pulled. She'll just roll along, and all of a sudden she'll blow up, and they'll have to, like, clean up the damage and get her out of the house.
Right.
Well, I just think that Angie, like, at some point in her life, she might have, like, went online and, like, looked her name up in Urban Dictionary, and the first thing it says is, "You're a weird person," and that's who you're supposed to.
Yeah, my note that I wrote on her is, "It's all just so much."
No, that's exactly what I texted to Kelly, I think.
Yeah.
It's way too much.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, go ahead.
like she like her sons are rock stars through osmosis because she birthed them. I think she said in her interview. She's out to lunch, but I love it.
Oh man.
You know,
Just side note. I hate it when moms come in and say that they can handle this house because they've given birth naturally. Because we've seen time and time again that it takes a lot more than pushing something out of your vagina to be able to succeed in this house.
Right. How many moms have won Big Brother?
5.
No. So first, there haven't been too many female winners. I don't think that there's been any moms that have won.
I'm trying to think. No, because everybody was like
John
young
and
like
but she wasn't a mom when she was on, and Rachel was not a mom.
No.
Nicole was not a mom.
What's her name from Hairspray?
Oh, Celebrity Big Brother. There we go. We have to pull outside from other Big Brothers to find a mom.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shaun.
She should not have won, but it's cool. That's it.
Gosh, man.
That's a fight for another day.
I mean,
That's hilarious.
Ross was robbed, but whatever.
Oh man,
So true.
I so disagree. But we've
What?
talked about this. Like when you're playing for celebrities, you're playing for image. Ross was playing Big Brother. Marissa was playing Celebrity Big Brother.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Haha!
Fair.
How often do you and I come to an agreement on Big Brother?
I know, like hardly ever. I'll take what I can get.
We
Oh,
both
man.
love this show so much, but for almost completely different reasons.
I know.
No.
I feel like
That's what makes it so wonderful.
I feel like male Kelly and I are gonna get along really well.
Yeah. I'm glad to know that I'm starting to be outnumbered.
Oh, stop. It's okay. We'll cover the whole bingo card between us.
Oh man. Okay. Anything else to say about Angie Rockstar?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw in some nickels, a couple dimes. But she's, for who she is as a person coming into this game, I'd have to imagine that at some point she has like grown used to, people kind of getting a strange vibe from her. So I would hope that she's got some thick skin, because obviously if we're ripping on her a little bit, like that's going to be the first thing a lot of people notice about her.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I genuinely don't see her making past it the first, especially because, okay, Big Brother likes to do those night one evictions, and
I swear if that happens, I will lose it. If they rob another person from the Big Brother experience by evicting them,
it's true.
Cameron wasn't okay last season. Like Cameron, that was on his own head. Yeah. The fact that he got out,
right?
When he jumped, but either way, like I will be surprised if Angie lasts past the night one eviction because people are always looking for someone to target. And the fact that she looks so crazy, like unless there's someone else.
Other targets. I think you definitely have other night one targets. She would not be my night one target. I promise you that.
Okay, you know what? I would love to hear. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Because I would love to hear about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go on to our. Are we good with Angie?
Yeah. I think we've said way too much about her.
Okay. Let's go on to Caitlin, who, oh my God, the life coach who manifested this for years.
The one who knows the secret.
And oh man, and she sells essential oils through a multi-level marketing scheme. Oh, sweetie.
Type of people.
Oh, actually, I take that back. She might be the night one eviction. Like,
you really could be. It really could go that way.
No one likes coming from someone who like I definitely like the psychicness. Like I'm totally down with that, but no one generally no one likes that and they find it weird.
Right.
So I could see her getting out pretty fast, especially with how she's so delusional with how the game is going to be played.
And first of all, if you're a life coach at 24, I'm sorry, but you've lost a little bit. You're crazy.
Yeah.
You don't have enough life experience to be a life coach.
Your brain just stopped developing. Let's calm down.
Come on. You are absolutely delusional. You cannot manifest a Big Brother win. It's not possible.
There were at least two people who specifically said they were manifesting it. Both her and Swaggy C.
Oh, Swaggy C.
We're gonna put the lie to that manifesting unless they let us have a Hunger Games style duel win.
I don't like new agey crystal weird.
She had an actual crystal hanging around her neck.
But
she did?
Yeah,
oh, I did not notice that. That fits her perfectly.
I don't appreciate that because it's disrespectful. Like it really is to think that you can just think positively and you're gonna win something.
The most ridiculous thing that she said, and this is coming from someone who looking at her, and I'm sure she is an absolutely lovely person, and I honestly think that we would probably get along outside of this house. Sure. But in this game, hearing you say that having someone who shows love and positivity win this game would be healing for America, like get out. That is the stupidest thing that I have ever heard in my entire life. And as soon as she said that, Ross's reaction to it cracked me up so hard.
Ross couldn't stand her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't.
Well,
He
that
is
was the one
looking
thing,
away.
though. Like, as I was watching it, there's a version of this character that can work on the show, but
Sure.
she would have to have that persona and be totally conniving behind the scenes. Like I saw that when Ross was kind of smiling at her, but fakely, she called him on it.
That was awesome.
There was a little flash of awareness there.
Right.
That if there's more of that there than we saw in the interview, she could actually go a decent length in this game if she tones down the new agey stuff and uses her perception. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
I feel like she's gonna try to sell like self-help books and try to convert people on night one to her way of thinking, and people are just gonna not like that.
Well,
Go ahead, Shaun.
I honestly think the worst thing that she said in the interview was, "I'm gonna tell people what I do. I'm a life coach." And I just think, like, why would you ever tell anyone that is what you do? And you're in like such a social environment. It's like, I don't want you fucking manipulating me. Like, why the hell would it's a terrible idea? I mean, geez.
Oh man. If she goes in, because we've actually seen this show. So I hate to like bring up Big Brother Canada again, but during BB Can 2, we had someone who was very much similar to her called a Nick, and she came in and like did the whole mystical thing.
I remember her.
She was kicked out week 1.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like people weren't into it, and they weren't ready for the love revolution or whatever. And so like it's not gonna happen. She needs to be perceptive, but she needs to tone that down.
I think she's gone to too many orgy parties and it's rubbed off on her.
Yeah, that's true. A lot is rubbed off on her. But
guys, no, we shouldn't be doing this. That's not nice. Don't assume, Shaun. That's not okay. All that I can say is that multi-level marketing is a scheme, and don't buy essential oils through that.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
And as a psychologist, I'm opposed to life coaches of all.
Right.
Oh man,
Kelly, I was going to ask you who is the either Kelly can answer this because I always blank on this person's name, but the girl who in BB18 who was like the SAT tutor who did like
Bronte.
Yes. Major Bronte vibes here.
I'm a closet nerd. I want to counter terrorism with prime numbers.
Right.
NSA. She's. You want to use prime numbers.
Yeah, and the show made such a big deal. Like they had a whole scene when she revealed, like to Natalie, the fact that like she's so smart in math. It just like out of all the secrets that I've seen revealed on Big Brother, that's probably the most overdramatic one. And oh my god. Anyway.
Yeah, I just got Major Bronte vibes from her just because like. When she first came into the house, she like had a panic attack, and so she went to the bathroom and said that she needed to find her Zen, and then
I forgot about that.
And then she did her little meditation exercise in the diary room, and it was like the most ridiculous like mouth noise I've ever heard.
That is awesome.
Oh, Bronte. Okay, are we done with
Please.
our?
We're
person?
done.
We're going to move on to someone who I am really excited about. We have next Scotty, who is probably one of the most amazing people that's going to be on this show this season.
Okay.
I'm kind of pegging him right now. I really am hoping, if things pan out well, I'm really hoping that he might be a contender for fan favorite because of how self-aware he is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have nothing terrible to say. I should never have anything terrible to say about any of the cast members, but like I don't get any like he seems like a good guy. Like he's just well rounded. He's very aware of like his persona and like kind of the direction he's gonna go in the game. But I'm gonna be really upset when I find out he's a closet racist.
Oh wow! Yeah, that would be upsetting.
That would be upsetting.
I remember, Shaun, when you and I were watching the videos, I think you were like, okay, now we have to figure out who's the racist this season.
Oh boy!
I don't know.
Show up.
It's gonna be one of the pretty girls.
Oh.
Man.
Yeah.
So Scotty said, I mean, I've never seen somebody nail themselves so accurately when he said he was like Elmo on Human Growth Hormone, Elmo on HGH, and after he says that, you can't unhear it, and it's amazing. I had a really hard time pegging what archetype he is. He's like a brand new. He's sort of a wild card. Like they usually have a weirdo type, but he's a fun weirdo.
He's like
kind of reminds me of Johnny Mac.
Yeah,
he is a little bit. Yeah.
But like Johnny Mac was like a rock star. This guy's like a nerdy virgin, but super like self-aware. Like he's a completely new. He's a completely new character. Like he's.
Go ahead. Sorry. We're talking about Scotty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many? So there's like different archetype weirdos in this.
They're just different. Like you'll get somebody who feels like the Ian slot, like the resident nerd, and there's usually a nerdy girl and then an older married mom, like, you know, a few different characters. Surfer guy, usually a cop. But this guy, I mean, I don't know. He had some interesting ideas about strategy too. Like a lot of people were saying they wanted to float at first, kind of coast, and he said, no, I want to set the pace and win.
I want to win. Yeah.
Yeah. In the first 2 weeks. And then he talked about how reality is perception. Like if you can,
that was awesome.
That's actually really, really true. And I was really impressed that he had that level of awareness to bring that to a pre-show interview.
Yeah.
And if you can find a way to sort of manifest that, to borrow a term, in the house, I think it'll be very successful.
He had that idea of propping open the door to the HOH room. Has anyone ever done that you're aware of? Like that's a really clever idea to like give this illusion of transparency.
I mean, I would, but you know.
I think that is really smart. Yeah, because I genuinely don't remember anyone doing that. Because I mean, what can you? I guess you could go downstairs and grab a chair and pop it open. It takes a lot of work, so good on him.
I wonder if the producers will let him do it. If they do, like, because he's got that non-threatening vibe. Like he could really ride that stoner weirdo vibe, and if he is doing enough behind the scenes and doesn't overplay his hand, he could be awesome.
The only thing that worries me is the fact that like he was talking about how he wants the target not on his. He said he didn't want it on his back. He wanted it in front of him, which I took to mean that like he doesn't want to be seen as like a target behind the scenes. He wants to be seen as a target outright. So that's kind of contradicting like what we want to see from him.
Okay.
I think he meant like if people see him as an obvious threat, it gives him, that's sort of how the perception will be, and he'll have a lot more time to do maneuvering and stuff. People won't be looking for sneaky stuff because they'll already be targeting for winning him comps and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's just worried about being backdoored. Yeah.
Okay, I wish he had explained that more because that's not what I got, but it makes sense like what you guys are saying.
You know, he gave me he seemed like a more palatable version of Jason from BB whatever and then BB Over the Top. Like
BB 17.
Yeah, like he seems to fit a little bit of that mold.
Yeah.
But you know,
not troll-esque.
Yeah, right.
You know, I like him. I like his playstyle though, because it's like gives me hope for people that go into the game and they have that mismatch persona. He has a great attitude about himself, and I feel like if you have a lot of control about who you are and how people perceive you, that can be like a super powerful tool going through the game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, should we move on to our next person?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need one to watch though. So I'm excited. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm pumped for him too. Okay, our next person is Angela. Oh, I remember Angela now. I was trying to forget. She was the one that reminded me of Christmas.
Yes.
Like she's pole vaulting and she spear fishes and she does all these amazing things.
And she's a fitness model, just like Christmas, and
yes. So I feel like
Rachel.
Say that again.
And her favorite is Rachel.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that part. I get it, like the whole strong female dominating in comps type thing, but Rachel, there's other choices. Oh man. Other than that, though, like I'm pretty excited about her, but it worries me because I was also excited. I'm feeling the same kind of excitement with her that I felt with Christmas. And Christmas was very disappointing.
I loved Christmas.
Yeah, I did too.
You guys are
My
crazy.
goodness.
Kelly, I don't know
a
what's
little too
wrong.
hard for Paul, but I loved her. And if she hadn't broken her foot, I think she could have gone much further.
Yeah, I feel like if she, the reason why you don't like her probably, Kelly, has to do with the fact that she didn't get to play the style of game that she wanted to, and because she broke her foot. Yeah, I feel like if we got
she should have walked in. She could have come. You know what? I'm not gonna go down this.
I bet they bring her back anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring her back.
Oh
That would
man,
be so fun.
It kind
That
of
would
seems
be
like
fun.
BB19 sort of being blacklisted a little bit. So I don't know if I'd be seeing.
But
her
isn't
again.
she pregnant?
She is pregnant right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I like. What's her name? The girl that we're talking about right now, Abigail. She
Angela.
is. She is giving me like the same feelings that I got for Christmas, and hopefully she will follow through with those feelings.
Yeah.
Unlike what Christmas did, including not breaking her foot.
Christmas, I love you. Just so you know, if you ever find your way onto the podcast, you know that you have.
Oh yeah, right. Like she's gonna come on.
I was so in love with Christmas, and I had a kind of a crush on Angela this morning too.
Like when we were watching you, like she waved at the camera and then he waved back. It was so wonderful.
That was the first note that I wrote. Was she's just so pretty.
She is though.
Oh,
yeah.
man. She's gonna go far.
Yeah.
Like assuming that everything goes the way that it does, I have a strong feeling that she's gonna go far with the strategy that she has set up, with wanting to get in with the guys, and she seems like she can connect well. She has like a stronger social game, so I'm excited about her.
Yeah.
I hope that she just does like. It hurts my heart every year to watch the girls go. This year we're really gonna do the all-girl alliance, like no one's ever been able to. And then watch them slowly turn on each other. I'm glad that she's sort of pole vaulting over that and going right in with the guys.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I hate that like an all-girls alliance. I mean, no, because it did happen in Big Brother Over the Top, but like an all-girls alliance on the general Big Brother, like I hate that it hasn't happened yet. But we didn't see anyone who like outright said girls alliances are horrible, or I'm going to try to start an all girls alliance. So that was kind of interesting seeing that. So maybe that's an indicator that it might actually happen.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I hope so.
So yeah. Anything else on the beautiful Angela?
She better make it to the final four. That's all I'm saying. Like
with or without a broken foot.
If she breaks her foot, she better win. If she doesn't break her foot, she needs to at least make it to the final four.
I think that she is the top candidate to showmance with Winston, actually.
Oh, Winston. I'm excited about him.
I think they could be a power couple to be reckoned with if they like. That's a showmance that could actually work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they both seem very versatile.
Yeah,
and they complement each other. So, oh man, I'm excited. Okay, so should we move on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
let's go ahead.
Shaun, did you want to add anything about?
Honestly, I know I was really quiet with this one. I can't think of really anything that hasn't been mentioned before. Maybe I got nothing. I think you guys know, like the strong character. She's a strong person. She's gonna be really good athletically in the game, and we'll see. I'm interested to see how she does with the mental competitions.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next person, Rachel,
who
is giving me she was wearing the choker.
Right.
She's giving me Jessica vibes.
Yeah.
But not like she looks like Jessica, but not giving me like the overly sexual vibes that Jessica gave.
Did Jessica give overly sexual vibes?
She flirted with Jeff during the pre-interview session.
Yeah, that was her.
During the pre-interview.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned jury management like 14 times.
Oh, that's right. She was
in a way that made it sound like she doesn't know what it is, but she heard her producer mention
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think she's probably gonna be middle of the pack.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She could be a social gamer. She could be. I think she could go to jury at least.
Yeah. I feel like because like she was the one that her parents watched the show, right? And,
yeah.
Right? And then she was like, maybe I'll try out. So I feel like she heard the word, like heard jury management, like and saw and did some like preliminary research.
Was it her or Angie?
Rachel said it, I thought.
Okay, that's fine. Either way, I know. Yeah.
And she so she's like, I'm gonna just manage the crap out of the jury that I manage. You know, I'm gonna manage. It's gonna be so well managed because it wasn't managed.
And then Ross was like, "How will you manage that?"
You're gonna micromanage this.
Yep.
Oh man.
By the way, I'm so excited. Side note for more Ross and who won?
Marissa.
Yeah. I'm so excited for more of them in like an after show sort of thing. I think they're both so good.
Is Ross the new Jeff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that was very loud.
That's wonderful news.
It is wonderful news. It's kind of like the exact opposite, so that's nice.
I'm gonna miss Jeff. Kelly, I know you don't love Jeff. Jeff and Jordan were my first season, and I love them so much.
Jeff and Jordan were just undeniably cute, and that you can't root against that. I feel like.
Yeah.
I will.
The casual, mild racism was a little hard to take, but
and homophobia.
But I feel like they learned.
You think so?
I do.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever actually come out to apologize about the Dumbledore comment, but okay. Let's say that he's learned.
Okay. Let's see what we can get him on this podcast.
There was a comment that he made back when he was on BB14 about how J.K. Rowling came out with the fact that Dumbledore is gay.
Right.
And Jeff was like, that's like horrible. Why would you ever let your kid go to a school that has like a gay principal? But I can't remember the black woman's name, but like she spoke up and she was like, why are you saying that? That's so horrible. And like he was implying pedophilia. He didn't outright say it, but he was implying pedophilia because of the fact that he's gay.
Yeah.
So
that's just like super ignorant.
Yeah, and he's never really like recanted that comment or said it was wrong or even like he hasn't said anything. But yeah, I can understand. It's tough. Like
I think he has been in the biz long enough that if we were to ask him now, he'd say, "You know what? I was an idiot."
Well, yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to defend him.
I will say this. I will miss his questions like, would you rather be beaten up by or get in a fight with one giant mosquito or keep the relationship with mosquitoes that you have? Because that was a question that he asked last season to every house guest. And like the best response was Josh's response where Jeff only got to the part, would you rather get in a fight with a giant mosquito? And Josh was like, yes, without the rest of the question being finished. Oh my God, it was so funny. Oh man, anyway. I will miss those questions, that's for sure. Because Ross is a little more, he's
more on the nose.
This is his thing, like hosting is his thing. So and interviewing, so he's more knowledgeable with this. How did we even get on this?
I don't know. We're done with Rachel, right?
Okay, yeah, I think we're done with Rachel. Shaun, did you want to add anything for Rachel?
Rachel is the name of a person on Big Brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Oh man, I am interested to see if she's gonna mention like Rachel from BB12 and 13 because that Rachel's also from Vegas. So maybe like mimicking her being like, I am Vegas or something like that. I think that'd be kind of that. I don't know how much knowledge she has, so she might not.
She's got a lot, but
fine, Rachel, whatever. Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Are we good, guys?
By the way, Kelly.
Yeah.
No, not you.
Yeah.
Did you ever find out if Christmas was related to you? Because she has her last name.
Christmas Abbott? Nah, I looked it up. It's okay for me to be attracted to her. As far as I know, we are not related. At least not anywhere close.
I love how you were so determined to make sure that was okay.
Yeah. Because it's definitely a realistic scenario that we might run into each other. And
yeah, it's super.
Oh yeah.
Because
you guys like run
if we
into
end up in the same room, my dad bod would just make her chuckle.
Oh man.
All right, guys, go to the next person.
Okay, our next person is Swaggy C.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm calling it dark horse to win this thing, you guys. Calling it right
now.
Stop it. Really?
He bugged the crap out of me for like the first 90% of his interview, and then at the end I was like, oh, I get it. He could totally like switch gears. Kind of like Paul was a douche for a while and then like made muffins for everybody and like turned a corner. That could totally be this guy's trajectory. I can see it. He comes in with his Swaggy C bull crap, and then he'll charm the socks off of somebody, and he'll ride it out.
Okay.
Oh man, he totally reminds me of Beast Mode Cowboy.
A little bit.
That's not.
He uses up hype a little too much, but he's got something going for him.
Oh, that's hilarious! I didn't see that until now.
The fact that he's wearing his own name on his shirt. And he's there. Like, it genuinely, yes, he does look like he's ready to play the game. But
he looks like he's ready to go into the WWE ring. He looks like,
he did look like Hulkamania.
Yeah.
He just, man, he's there. I think he's there more so for marketing and trying to increase whatever it is that he does. Because he said that he would rather lose and be loved. That way he could be pulled for like Amazing Race or the next season. Right. And that kind of like comment, I don't like that. Because like it shows that even though you might be in it, but you're not fully in it. Like you're not. You'd rather not go balls to the walls and make worse of a game for yourself and worse of a TV show.
Right.
That way
that undermines this self-promoter image. Like that's what tells me he has a shot. Is that people can see through pure calculating salesmanship, but if he's got a little beating heart under there that he's sort of hiding. People are going to pick up on that, and they're going to keep him around. I guarantee it. Just like Josh. Like Josh, through all the banging pots and pans and the weird anger explosions, the reason he stuck around is because people could tell he had a tiny little heart of gold hidden somewhere in there.
It's because Paul wanted him to stay around. Too. Let's be honest. It's because Paul wanted him to stay around. Like, I mean,
there were other times
there was the golden heart, but like if Paul wasn't in there, Josh would have been gone long before that.
Yep.
100%.
The Swaggy C, I think, is more of a competitor, but he's got that same quality to him that I think people might be annoyed and then be like, wait, I might be a little sad if he goes away.
Yeah, I won't be sad if he goes away. He was my night one goodbye. Like if you come in calling yourself Swaggy C in the Big Brother house.
Oh my God, this is your night one pick.
Yes, I swear if I was in the house, if you call yourself Swaggy C and you want me to call you Swaggy and dude, like can I call you Chris? If not, then we can't.
I want to see that guy from Jersey, that old dude from Jersey called him Swaggy C.
I feel like there's a hidden story here, Jacob. Do you have some kind of like trauma with Swaggy C?
We go way back. I didn't want to get into this.
I honestly think you need to give him at least like the chance to explain why it's Swaggy C. Okay. Just to make sure that it's not sexual.
Something stupid.
I guarantee it's a crappy story.
No, but okay, so here's the other thing. Okay, here's the other thing that bugged me, right? He's not a day trader, he's a Bitcoin kid.
That's what I said. When I was watching it, and he was like, oh, I do money, and I turned to Kelly, and because he wasn't saying stock trader, I was like, Kelly, I bet he does Bitcoin.
He's a Bitcoin.
If that's true, then I take back everything I said. He can go night one.
There's nothing wrong with being a Bitcoin kid, but like, don't call yourself a day trader. That's a totally different thing.
Wait. I'm a day trader. I trade
time for money.
Like I collect stuff and sell it in the day once in a while. No,
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
you
fucking-
don't.
it's even then, even if I did that, I wouldn't be considered. I don't think I'd be considered day trader. I think I just would be considered lazy.
Yeah, but then would you also have the audacity to come up with a nickname for yourself and insist that other people call you that? Totally seriously.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not saying I'm even rooting for him. I just think there are, and especially because it's a bunch of like kind of MTV, like real world 20-somethings, it could totally take off with this little group of kids. Or they could totally just be over at night one and kick him out. Like, it could go either way, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think
I don't
anyone
know,
that
like-
goes into the house with ketchup and mustard clothing, like superhero in my heart. Like,
There's a superhero in your heart.
oh yeah.
You were a Hulk
if we-
Hogan fan, huh?
Well, if he ever makes it, if he makes it to because there was a competition where everyone like was a superhero, like his is obviously gonna be like ketchup and mustard or
Yeah.
like Swaggy
Condiment
C,
Man.
The
Condiment Man.
yeah.
basically.
Oh man. Okay, are we done? Are we done with Chris /
Yeah.
Swaggy C? Is that what are we gonna call him? Like, are we gonna call him Chris, or are we gonna go with Swaggy C?
Oh, I'm gonna call him Swaggy C just because he wants it, but I hate it. I hate him for it. But
I reverse the name. I call him J Swag.
There's like no J in his name.
Yeah, J Swag, man.
I love
So,
it. I love it.
the only redeemable thing about him is that he loves Paul.
Why is that redeemable? That's like the opposite of redeemable right now.
to you.
Okay, explain.
Paul,
I was about to switch over to the next person. So why?
Paul was robbed twice.
Rob once.
Twice.
Once. This is something that, oh my goodness. Okay, so he
Yeah,
was
but
robbed
that's-
1.5 times. 1.5 times. Okay.
Compromise, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that's the arc that he could take. Like, if there's a way forward for Swaggy C, it's the Paul route, kind of that larger than life guy that you can't help but kind of respect or like.
And he's a little bit of a dick, but he stays around because of that. Okay, I'm becoming, you know what? I'm warming
I'm
up to
just saying, I
Swaggy
won't be
C.
surprised. It's
You
happening.
know what? When we have our draft, you guys can have Swaggy C. That's all.
I'm not touching him.
I don't know. Like Paul, he always came off to me like you guys said, a little arrogant and a little spoiled, and like by the end of the day, like I still fucking hated him.
Yeah, he's an asshole. I don't have any. There's no way I can backtrack off of that. But he deserved to win twice.
Deserve to win one.
Yes.
But what you can say though is that, you know, as ineffective as they or as annoying as they are, Rockstar Angie and Swaggy C, their faces are the ones on all of the Facebook posts today.
Ugh.
They jump out. They branded themselves better than, you know, there's like 5 pretty girls that all kind of blend together,
Right.
and 3 or 4 like hunky looking dudes, but these 2 are the ones that are gonna pop.
You know what? Honestly, between the two, I'm okay with Swaggy C being like, hey,
Agreed.
there's this new guy for BB20, but Rockstar Angie, like, no, please find someone else. Her personality doesn't match her nickname.
It sounds like to me that we've declared the underdogs of the season.
And we're not even through everyone yet.
And the thing is, I love the underdogs, so I'm mixed with the feelings on this whole thing. I got mustard, I got rocks. I don't know.
Okay, shall we go on to our next person?
Yes, Casey.
Yeah.
We have Casey, who is
Gen City Part 2.
Yes, that's it. Like, she seems super chill. But doesn't really have too much of a strategy going through. I mean, like, she just seems nice, so I don't see her really making any big moves except maybe to pull off, like, Winston off the block when it's actually really bad for her game.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's it. What do you guys think?
I feel like whoever her parent was, like gave birth to her or like was there to sign the baby form, like they just like, what would they call her? Casey. Okay, Casey. Casey, and like they just kind of like fell asleep on it. Like, how can you tell me using your fucking name? Like, I mean, like, I love Casey. It's just very strange.
Yeah.
You're so caught up on how she spells her name. It's so funny.
I have never seen that. Is that? I'm gonna look it up.
You know what? You like after substituting so long, you'd think that you'd seen everything, but Shaun, for the first time, has seen Casey. Pretty wonderful. You guys are witnessing history right now.
I feel like I want to give Casey a little bit more credit than being a Gen City. I don't know why, but there was something that really stuck out to me in that I think she's going to be willing and able to really sort of embrace confrontation. She mentioned that. And handle it really well, and I feel like she'll be used as sort of a diffuser of tension. And if she can win stuff, because Gen City couldn't, then she'll be in a really good spot to actually maybe win again instead of just being dragged along the whole time.
Yeah, I think she's someone that we're gonna see every season. There's a few people that you see like 2 of their DRs the whole season. Like I don't see her being like a real dynamic DR presence. You're not gonna see her get a ton of screen time. She'll probably be a pretty shrewd gamer. She'll align herself with the right people. She'll always be sort of a presence in competitions, but I can't see her making a move that like kind of puts her at the front of the conversation for being there at the end.
Why do you guys think she was chosen?
That shirt, that pink shirt with the white light.
that was fantastic. That shirt
it was
the
best shirt of the day for sure.
Yeah, way better than Angie's hair thing.
Well, I apologize, guys. Turns out Casey is a really common modern name.
It is. Yep.
Casey, if you're watching this, just know that I'm arrogant, and I know when I've shit the bed here, and I'm really sorry.
Oh my goodness. I like that you use that metaphor because you're actually on a bed. So you really hate it. Oh man. Do we have anything else to say about Casey?
I hope she wins.
I will say this. Before she had gotten on the interview, I made a mistake, and I thought that she's a very masculine build. So I thought she was gonna be, she was gonna not be a girl.
Right.
And she is.
Oh, it was fuzzy. Yeah.
It was fuzzy. I've been this whole time, ever since like all the cast members have been delivered, I've always like kind of prejudged them like based on that blurry part. And she's the only one I didn't get right. And so I feel like.
Oh really?
Yeah, I feel like she's gonna prove me wrong in a lot of ways, just like with her name.
Oh, I like that. It came full circle.
She's proven you wrong twice so far.
Yeah, in just like 5 minutes. This is fantastic.
Yeah, amazing. Casey, go for it.
Okay, shall we move on?
Yes.
Sure.
Our next person I am so excited about. It's Winston, who looks amazing and is going to freaking kill it on this game.
Calm down.
Like, oh my God. So as long as he knows when to lay low and not show off his smarts like he did in the interview, I really think that he's going to go far.
So Kelly.
Yes.
I love Winston as well, just so you know. Winston is absolutely dreamy, and he's very, very smart.
Yes.
But I do have to rain on your parade a little bit. You want to guess who's?
Do it, Jake. Do it.
You want to guess who his favorite player is?
Is it Frankie or Paul?
It's Paul.
Paul.
Because he knows what he's doing.
You know what? There has to be wrong with everyone. There's no such thing as perfection. Okay?
He knows
and
what he's doing.
That's where his fault is.
That's why he's gonna win. Because he's got the looks, he's got the charm, and he's got the Paul mentality.
Okay, you know what? You know what my problem with Paul is? The fact, like, how he went about going about and controlling the house. Like, how I don't want to say lack of morals, but like he was advocating.
He got too full of himself, and he wanted to be the smart guy with everybody. He needed to be more like Derek, where he let other people take credit for some of the ideas so that not everything could be traced back to him.
Exactly.
We have a book that says, "What do you do with good ideas?" And it's a children's book. It's pretty good. Paul should read
You
it.
don't do what Paul did.
Let me guess. Do you share them? Do you share good ideas?
You share the good idea.
Share, and then sometimes people poop on your good ideas.
Oh.
You have to, but you still have to hold on to it. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like though a lot of the people that have Paul as their favorite, I mean, here's the advantage: is that Paul played a really good game.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
I mean, twice he got to the end twice. The only downside is he wasn't good with jury management,
no.
and he wasn't willing to look at his mistakes. So if those people recognize Paul as a good player, they should also recognize the major faults.
Yep.
You would
Paul,
hope
to me,
so.
his biggest issue was that he tried to micromanage things. Like Derek's genius. I mean, I cite Derek a lot. I just think he was brilliant. He would roll
awesome.
anything that came his way. He would incorporate it and make it work for him. And that's what Winston's going to have to do. I think it's going to be a constant struggle for him to not fly too close to the sun and not like get in love with his own intelligence. Because if he starts playing too flashy, he's going to have a huge target on his back. But if he can play low key and roll with it a little bit, I think he's really got a chance.
I'm pretty sure he can.
He was
just the vibe that I got from him. It really seems like he can go low key.
So it can look smarmy though, really easily.
Yeah. That's the fine line that he's going to be walking along is between low key and in your face good social game.
Yeah. So one thing that I really like about Winston, other than his undeniable good looks, is that he said in answer to the question, do you have a strategy for winning the game? He said, I hope to use my interpersonal skills to gain trust from key individuals that I identify early. But unlike Cody from last year, I cannot come in and split the house and do too much too early. It's a waiting game. So I feel like he's got enough awareness that he's not gonna just have to try to dominate like Paul did. And I feel like he should be everybody's favorite to win the game.
Mm-hmm. See, this is where I'm going to bring Matt back up because from BB19. I know, but Matt was a favorite to win. BB19 pre.
It's just because he would look distinguished.
Okay, that's all that I'm afraid of because I know that a lot of people are going to love him, and I'm so afraid that he's going to turn into another Matt. Nobody wants that.
Matt couldn't even say the word interpersonal.
You think Winston's going to turn into a Matt?
Say that again. I'm afraid that Winston's going to turn into a Matt.
Are you worried that Winston's going to turn to Matt?
Yeah.
No, I think the only thing you have to worry about is if Winston turns into Lane.
Oh, man.
From BB-12?
Yeah.
Oh,
12.
That was a good callback.
I love Lane.
That. Shaun, you impressed me, man. You
the deep cut.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love Lane. He's like
Lane was wonderful.
Lane was a sweetheart.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I don't know if I'm willing to see that happen again because it just broke my heart.
Oh.
Because he was the runner. I'm pretty sure he was the runner-up to that series.
But see, this is where Hayden kind of maneuvered his way to get that win was because he was able to convince Lane to do things that if Hayden did them, it would hurt his game. Versus if Lane did it, it helped Hayden's game and hurt Lane's game.
By the way, do any of you guys watch football?
No.
A little bit.
Okay. Winston looks a little bit like Sam Bradford.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure he does.
Which team?
He's been on a lot of teams, but he's most recently on the Cardinals.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the quarterback for the Cardinals. He was with the Vikings last year, but anyway, he's got those eyes. But anyway,
he's got that quarterback vibe. He's going to be a natural leader in the house. People are going to be drawn to him.
That's what's going to bite him in the butt.
But I can see him having the storyline of kind of falling into a showmance that he's not sure he wants and then having to betray her right at the end of the season to make the move that he needs to make. That'd be a fun arc for him, I think.
Yeah, for sure. In general, I'm so against showmances because they make the game way too predictable.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
But you know, I'm
But
all
there's
for.
such a foregone conclusion. Like nobody ever avoids them.
I mean, they cast to make them happen because they make good TV, so it's totally fine. But I want to see the first game dance. I want to see it happen. Let's make it happen. Casting.
That's gonna take a little while. I wish it wouldn't, but I feel like it is. I mean, we had it on BB Can during BB Can 5, but
thanks,
like Canada's a lot more open to that, especially like where we are right now in America.
Right.
So yeah. On that sad note, should we move on?
Yeah.
I'm certain I don't know what you're talking about, Kelly.
I know. I kind of feel like I got lost there for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you were referring to, but sure, yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna move on.
Okay.
So we have Sam. Who
I love Sam. I love her so much.
is
Oh my
like
God.
Donnie in female form.
I love. Okay, can I? I'm not really into marriage, but can I marry Sam, please? Like, I'm not, like
She's from. Where's she from? South Carolina? No, she's from Virginia.
Virginia.
Virginia, yeah.
Oh,
I could not believe that she was only 27. Like,
right.
Yeah, and she's a welder.
Yeah,
and
she's a badass.
And her answer for the would you rather win and be hated or lose and be loved, it was the best answer that I've ever heard.
Yep.
It depends on the situation. Because if I'm standing up for what I believe in and that's why I'm hated, then that's fine. But yeah, like that. Man, she's wonderful.
And the standing up to bullies thing, that she found her way to my heart. I really want to see her go far. She seems like a sweetheart. I hope there's not a racist bone in her body. It makes me a little bit nervous whenever I hear that accent. Like, it just makes me a little bit nervous that there might be some things that I might not like.
But Donnie had that accent.
I was gonna say Donnie's one that comes to mind, that I waited the whole season for something awful. And
I know.
And there still hasn't come anything out.
Does that mean we're just bad people, that we just wait for people?
I think so.
I will tell you this. Have you ever seen Donnie without his beard?
No, and I don't want
to.
Man, he looks like a painter. He paints like construction and stuff. But man, he looks super different.
Wow.
I can't believe that he shaved his beard. That's crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna Google that right now.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll Google it. It's probably the most upsetting fact about Donnie.
The beard is the most upsetting fact about Donnie.
His beard.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
So.
Damn, though, no, she's very unique out of all the cast members. Similar to Donnie, just super unique.
Right.
Like, genuine, has a really good way she like puts information out there.
Right.
And just kind of the roles that she's taking. I don't know. I feel like we don't really know a whole lot about like her background. She's really good about not giving away too much other than, the basics of her work. But if anyone, like Winston and Sam, I had this huge vision that they were going to like get it on. And like, then they'd be like, oh man, I see you got a lot of talent too. So why don't we compete against each other? Like, that's my fantasy with this whole thing. It's probably not going to happen. I think Winston's going to be but that's for some reason that's all I could think about.
Oh my goodness, that bothered. Okay, I just Googled Donnie without a beard.
I'm gonna show it for everyone.
Okay, he looks like Cody a little bit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here he is.
Whoa, he does look like Cody.
Without a beard.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You're welcome, viewers.
Yeah.
So my only worry about Sam is that it sounds like she doesn't know the game quite as well as some. Like, she said she watched clips of it. I have a feeling she's been having to get up to speed, and she's probably not going to get the nuances of some of the.
She watched Top 25. She didn't watch clips. She watched just like the best evictions is what it sounded like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people like that who really obviously don't know the game are sitting ducks a lot of the time.
Did Donnie know the game?
I don't know. Did he?
I don't
Donnie
think.
was playing on a different level.
I mean, honestly, though, I feel like they can sort of play the same thing. Like, Donnie was sort of the house dad. I feel like she can be the house mom and be
playing with all her heart, and everybody
Right.
respects it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she's going to be the anti-bully. She's going to stand up for the underdog, and she's going to be an underdog herself, and it's going to be a great story. And
I hope so.
Win America's favorite player, and everyone wins.
yeah, yay.
Yeah. Clearly going to be America's favorite player. Absolutely.
Top 3.
And that comes with $50,000, right?
Say that again.
That comes with $50,000, right?
25.
Okay. Well, that's still not bad. You know?
So, yeah, that's something which I would love. Like, she's just wonderful. I know that we're putting so many eggs in her basket right now, but
she seems like she's a wonderful person. I would be very, very sad. I would be the most sad if there was going to be something that would come out that is something terrible about her. I hope
she's the closet racist.
Yeah, I hope that's just not the. You know, I'm ever since BB15, I'm so scared of the next Aaron. Like, I'm just like so scared of that.
But that's like I'd be okay with that because Aaron was already like a mean girl. I mean, it's obviously not good,
right?
But like, there was already something that wasn't appealing about her, so it makes it a little easier. Versus like if we had someone like Donnie come out, and then it turns out that he's racist, and it's just like, oh my god, that sucks. Like we thought we had such high expectations, high hopes for you, like we loved you, and it turns out that you have this like really horrible viewpoint that is really damaging to so many people.
And Donnie just seemed like he loved everybody regardless of anything. He just seemed like a people person who was just, you know, there to spread joy and love and Christmas cheer even when it wasn't Christmas.
And his tall drink of water socks.
And his Harvard shirt that made everybody think that he was telling a lie about what he did.
I'm so excited for all the rumor spreading that'll happen with Sam, like how she's an FBI and like she's kind of special task. Like, I mean, if she's gonna talk about her welding, it's like who does welding? No one does that. Like
like there's barely any females that do welding.
Right.
Especially.
It's like it's a special, like she must be like Black Ops, man.
Yeah.
Well, she was a hairdresser too. Like I'm surprised hairdresser isn't ranked up among like the other professions that people don't want to admit they have, because the skills you get as a hairdresser are the same as like, you know, as a police officer or someone who does interrogations. Like her people reading skills are gotta be off the charts.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna be
Rennie from BB10. She was a hairdresser.
Oh,
and
my she was a hot mess.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love her. I love her. Like, yes, she was amazing. I mean, yeah, but like just the scene where she and Dan and Memphis, I think it was, we're talking about the time zones with more, like, oh my, like
she's out to lunch. She's a cuckoo bird. I love it.
Wonderful. Oh man, she's great. She's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we move on?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we're coming down like to the final 4. We have Steve, who's next. The retired cop and professor, and he doesn't want to admit to either of those, so he's going to say that he's a mechanic, and he's going to play it seems like he's going to start by playing a Derek-esque game. What do you guys think about him?
Well, I think that Sam and Steve might have some conflicts because she welds, and if he's going to be a mechanic, she's going to know a thing or two about like certain diagrams, man. So I'm really excited to see kind of if he does do that, Sam catches it, it's going to be really fun.
Yes. That kind of makes me think back to BB14 when Dan figured out, or I can't remember who it was, but someone Boogie figured out that Danielle was a nurse. And it was because she called aspirin, she called it like the medical name.
Right.
When she was lying about being a nurse to begin with, which is ridiculous because nurses, like, she didn't want to say that she was a nurse, so she wouldn't seem smart. But either way, I would love to see someone get called out for lying about their position.
Kelly,
Yeah.
did Steve take your spot?
Yeah. Every year there's somebody who takes the fat old guy spot that I'm going to have one of these years. And every year I just hate that guy. And usually they go home on the first night when they can't climb onto the back of a big cartoon hippo or whatever. But, like, I figure he'll either go home quick or he'll just float around and get to jury, and then they'll dispose of him when it's convenient. But
I don't know. I'm getting Derek vibes from him without intending to be Derek. Like, I'm getting Derek vibes from him. But that might be what gets him out.
Derek knew the game, though, and I don't think Steve knows the game super well.
Right. He said his wife was the super fan, and he just watches with her. And,
yeah.
Why did he get on then? Like, did his wife be like, "Oh, you should totally get on the show. You don't know anything about it. It'll be hilarious."
He said that he wants to win the $500,000 for his family, and he can't think of another way to get that kind of money.
So he's a mansplainer.
Oh, we got a mansplainer coming up.
Yeah.
We have that coming up. But I feel like what was I gonna say? Who are we talking about? Yeah,
Steve, the cop.
Right. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, the thing about trying to play. I'm blanking on his name. The winner, who was the cop.
Derek.
You can't play a winner's game twice.
But he mentioned that.
Yeah.
Like, he mentioned that you can't do that because people have seen that.
Right.
That's why I'm excited about him.
Yeah. If he survives the first night, he can try to be Derek 2.0. But
I think that people underestimate the narcissism of people who get on shows like this. That's why Derek was so successful, is that people want to believe that they're the smart one who figured out a cool plan. And Derek leveraged people's, like, high self-image of themselves all the way through the season. And I think that will always be a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
People never want to give credit if they can take it for themselves.
Yeah. Hey, we're all a little bit narcissistic for wanting to be on a show.
Oh man.
I don't know, Steve. When I look at him, my eyes just kind of go unfocused. Like, that's a guy who will be in the house. I just don't think you have to have a little bit of. He'll be playing Butter's game, I think.
Kelly, have you applied for Big Brother?
What's that?
Have you applied for Big Brother?
No, I've been about to. My kids have been too young for me to leave, and they finally just in the last year or so have said, like, "Hey, go for it." So I'm gonna put in one of these times.
Do it. Get on.
It's gonna be Zoppity. Oh man.
Be that guy, but stay on the hippo. You know.
I'll just train on the hippo climbing.
Yep.
We can get you want to put it in your backyard to practice. Oh man. Okay. Should we move on?
Yep.
Tell me we're on to Brett. I want to.
Oh God. Are we?
Yeah,
we're on to. Okay, so we have Brett, the guy who puts his life on the line to save people who are unable to protect themselves through cybersecurity engineering, and he's such a patriot, and everyone should love him so much.
I hate this guy.
I hate him so much. I'm a non-violent person. I want to punch this guy so hard in the face. Like, he's everything I hate in, like, machismo men that just, like, have this inflated sense of self-importance. And it's just, I can't stand it. I don't have anything good to say about him. Kelly, go ahead.
So when he was, like, giving his answers, so back when Jacob and I would compete in speech and debate, there's this thing that you would have to do called impromptu speaking.
Yep.
And you basically have to think up things off the top of your head. And if you said the same thing too many times to where it started to sound like you had scripted it, that was called canning your speech. And 90% of this guy's answers were canned.
Yep.
Like, just the way that he was expressing himself, it was very like mansplaining, honestly, even though he was talking to Ross.
Person.
Yeah.
I guess what I would say I do.
It was so condescending. And this is why I loved Ross, because Ross figured this out, that like he was canning his answers. So Ross was actually able to ask him a question where he had to like think about the answer. So we got to see some insight into who Brett, sorry, I forgot his answer or his name. Who Brett actually was, which was nice. Still don't like him, but at least we saw something that was a little less scripted than that. I'm so not excited about him.
He's the Cody of the season for me. Like, go ahead.
I can't. So the reason I think I might have like a bad taste in my mouth with this cast member, is it Paul or is it Cody? Cody. He reminds me of Cody a lot.
The one that ended up with Jess, right?
The military guy?
Right, yeah.
No, not him. Other Paul.
Cody's brother, the one who played the season after.
Oh, Paulie?
Paulie. He reminds me of Paulie a little bit.
He reminds me of Paulie.
Oh.
Oh my God. No wonder
Yeah.
why I hate him.
Okay.
Paulie had those like chivalry undertones, like all good intentions, but he was a douchebag about
actual masculinity that's going to go off on whoever makes him feel not smart.
Right. And also, sort of like a Beast Mode Cowboy had that too, like where he was like, remember when he thought that he deserved to date?
He sunk Amber's name,
right?
Because Amber didn't want to date him,
right?
God,
yeah,
these people.
So I forgot about that.
Oh man! And the fact that Beast Mode Cowboy is still like in CBS's pocket pisses me off. Like he went on Survivor multiple times. He was a contender for Amazing Race. He was potentially going to do the trifecta. Like, get out of here.
I can't stand the guy.
I hate that feeling, like just that whole. I know that we've said it, the machismo vibe that he's giving, and that they continue to pick up on.
Okay, so like clearly we're upset with the approach that. God, what's his name now? I can't remember the actual one. Brett. So the like thing that would turn it around then is if he was able to show some kind of like humility.
Yeah.
And like
the problem is that with these kinds of people, like this mindset, you rarely see that. You rarely see someone who's willing to show a little more compassion, and he wants to go off and mansplain it.
Yeah, but Brett is brave, man. Like he sits behind the desk and he's. I mean, you could say whatever you want about him, but clearly,
I'm using his own words.
The fun thing with a guy like this is watching him hit the wall like at a high speed, because he has a very different view of himself than everybody else will have. Like he's a little too derpy looking to be in a showmance, I think.
Right.
But I think he thinks he's like going to go in and like charm the socks off of that house. And if like on the thing you put up, his strategy, he thinks he's going to micromanage every personality in that house, which is something that Paul almost pulled off because he's a charismatic powerhouse, and this guy's not going to come anywhere close to pulling off. So I think he'll go out early.
Yeah, I think he reminds me more than anyone else of Devin. From BB16.
Yeah.
He's gonna come in way too hot and think he's the best thing in the world, and just run into a wall because nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, he'll spend the last 3 days in the house by himself in the backyard, like feeling sorry for himself.
Tell you what, my favorite part of Paulie was when he had his downfall. Like that whole week with the butterfly, that scene was iconic. So if anything, we can be hopeful that we'll get another butterfly scene out of Brett.
There we go.
It makes me laugh just thinking about it. Should we move on?
Yes.
Okay. No.
No, I mean, let's go. Let's leave this space, okay?
So we have JC, who is the opposite, who seems to be pretty opposite of Brett. He's the dancer who is Latino, I'm guessing. I mean, like, he's got something.
He's different. He's Cuban, I think.
Okay, there we go.
He was so cool.
He really was. Like, his answers were awesome. Probably my favorite answer. My favorite answer that he gave was about the question.
What would scare you?
Yeah, what would scare you the most? And because he's like 5 feet tall, right? his scariest thing in the house is having like a really strong guy, a really tall guy,
tall person who like
who is against him. So, and just the way that he said it, like he's gonna be one of the people that lasts a really long time.
Okay.
I don't see him winning, but I see, and it helps that like he's really like he's muscular, like he is super built.
Yeah, he's stacked. That guy, man, he's got some muscles on him. You don't think he's gonna win though?
No,
I think he could win.
I think he could win easily.
I don't know. I don't know if he has the heart to like be that deceptive.
Oh no, he's gonna win the same way Josh won. He's gonna win people over with his story and with with being this family guy, and he also has the William from BB Can 5.
Yes, yes, he does.
And that he's cute, and people won't be able to understand what he's saying. So they'll want to keep
because it's an automatic advantage for him because people will be like, oh, he can't be deceptive because I can't understand him. Right. So how could he be deceptive when in actuality, like, I mean, I don't know if he would, like, he gives me a very like heart on the sleeve type of vibe. Right. So that's why I go.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna think they're best friends with him. He's gonna be like he's like Josh with like 10 extra skills added.
Yeah, and he says his favorite player is Josh.
Yeah.
That's true.
He says he represents the kind of people I grew up with, makes me feel at home. I'm glad he won. And I feel like if he is able to tap into that and become this season Josh, he could definitely win. I don't know if he'll deserve it, and I'll probably be mad. But like, again, but I think he could definitely. He's got a lot more skills than what Josh showed. I hope that he doesn't bang pots and pans. That was so annoying to watch.
That was the worst.
But
I can see JC and Scott forming an alliance pretty early because they share kind of that awkward
Scotty,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I can
the white nerdy dude.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Have we gotten to Scotty yet? Probably not.
Yeah, that was like way earlier. That's why I had to remind myself.
Okay. I can't remember, but anyways, like I see them pairing up pretty early.
Now you said earlier that you thought that we might see our first gay mans this season. Who was it? It was JC and who?
Winston.
The other one.
Winston.
Yeah.
I don't think Winston said.
He said that he's single. I remember that. I don't remember.
Said they were gay though.
No one else has outright said that they're bi or gay.
Not say it?
But I think it would be a really good cover for Winston. And
that'd be kind of cool.
Sort of like a Frankie Zach scenario, or is that what you're thinking? Like a flirt man's?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be so fun.
Yes.
I have not seen that in a long time, at least not like Boogie and Doctor. That was his name?
Dr. Will. They weren't in a flirt man's though.
Yeah, but they were like super good friends and they were hilarious.
They would cuddle. Yeah.
They would cuddle.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, we have one last house guest to talk
We just have one more? Oh, wait, let me make sure that I'm on the right. Oh, Haley. Sorry, I forgot to show her picture.
Oh, my goodness.
So we have Haley.
Oh.
What did she do that I did not like about her? She's a college student. She's 21. She doesn't look 21. She looks older.
When we saw her, she danced in like when it was fuzzed out, and we were like, "Oh no, we're getting a Raven vibe just from her body movement."
Oh, that's
and
right.
We're like, don't be Raven, and I was pleasantly surprised that she seemed self-aware, like she's going to be the bubbly personality on the show this season. It looks like, but she's not Raven.
Yeah, she doesn't give me Raven vibes.
I'm annoyed that she cited her major in psychology.
As a reason.
People say they got their undergrad in psychology, so they're going to keep that from the house guests because Why?
Because if you've taken 5 classes in psychology, then obviously you're going to be amazing at being manipulative.
I'll own my bias there, but man.
No, see, the real threat is the minor in sociology. You see,
Oh, that's right.
they just go, "Oh yeah, you were a lazy student." So I think you should bring that up first. But you know what I just realized is that Bailey.
There's one more. Haley, Bailey, and is there like a case?
Haley,
There's Casey.
Haley, Bailey.
Either way, they have that
Basil,
Basil.
They have that weird LEIGH at the end of their names. I hope they don't figure that out and consider that an alliance matching system because
weird name alliance.
Yeah. Alliance.
Oh man. Yeah, not super excited for her. I don't know. We'll see how she does.
I am. I'm excited for her because you always need a good scapegoat, and she could easily play that part and fill the shoes and whatever else. Would just be good exit for some of the stronger players. Sorry, Haley.
Huh.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah.
That's our cast, guys, and we hope and pray that there's no returnees, right? We all agree on that.
Yeah. So
they're not going to be able to avoid it though. They'll do it.
Last I heard through Hamster Watch is that we're not going to be having 4 returners.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's still up in the air. I would be totally fine with not having it. We are long overdue for a all newbie season with nothing. But maybe they want to do it anyway because it's BB20. So it's like, oh, yay, we need to do something special.
I think what they should do, and I don't think they've ever done this, but I think they should do a Big Brother bottom of the barrel, and they should just get all the losers that have left the first week and let them duke it out in like an arena style scenario. So man. The smallest fish gets eaten by the smaller fish.
There you go.
Oh wow! So this is how are you guys feeling? Like, I mean, we kind of already talked about how we're feeling overall with the cast. I don't know if there's really much to say. We're not going to do the draft right now.
No,
we're going to hold off until the 2-night premiere is over, so we can see how they're like inside the house. That's about it.
Yeah,
I'm excited about a couple.
I'm excited about a couple. I hope that you guys don't steal them from me.
I think there's enough promising house guests that we'll have enough to go around.
Yeah, absolutely. We can all race to the bottom for what's his face, Brett.
Oh man.
Well, I'm clearly going to be taking in the underdogs for the season, and I can't wait to see them win and your expressions when that happens because
you can go ahead and have
glorious and upsetting for all of you, but for me, I'll be like, "Yep, those are my turds that I shined."
You did last season when we were watching. You got behind Josh, and you're like, "I'm rooting for Josh," and you ended up calling that really well. So who knows?
It's like gambling. You just really can't tell where it's gonna go until you get a victor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh
like that.
Man. It's gonna be great. Live feeds are gonna be awesome. They start June 28th, right after the 2-night premiere is over. So we'll have to figure out. I mean, we'll have to have our podcast right after them, but we'll probably have the live feeds going on in the background since our first look at them.
Right. And I'm so excited to see how CBS All Access works with the live feeds because I've never done like a full live feed season for BBUS, and I can't wait to see the differences between what was kind of a terrible experience with BB Can last year and
oh man, Kelly, you were not there for that. Like BB Can, they put the feeds out all the time. There was actually like 36 hours of feeds that were just cut out.
Wow.
Within the first weekend that feeds were up. They cut out 36 hours. I was pissed.
To like film a veto or some.
Yeah, and have a party. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. Even though that party was the after effects were entertaining. The
Starlet 7 says that BB Canada live feeds are the worst, and Starlet 7 is right. So glad that you agree. Oh man. So yeah, that's about it. Like, we'll be back. I don't know if we're gonna be back on the first night or the second night. One of the two. We didn't really talk about it, so we'll talk about that, and then we'll figure it out. And it's gonna be great. Like. Let's hope that this season is a lot better than last season.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers to that. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys later.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.